I don't know about you guys, but I'm in a pretty good mood right now. And I'll tell you why. It's because I applied for a job with my local Domino's, and I wasn't expecting to hear back from them because I've been chasing them up for many months, and you know, Domino's, their upper management, they have this habit of doing what a lot of big companies do, where they will advertise on the shop floor, we're looking for new drivers, but the reality is they're not actually looking for new drivers. They're just putting that up there as an illusion to show that they're actively hiring. Some sort of, you know, shady numbers fudging practice, I think, which might be for tax purposes, but whatever. You know, there's so many other companies doing that. You know, like on Indeed, you have those ghost jobs. And the manager who I spoke to over the phone, he confessed that this is all out of his hands. Anyway, that's how they do things. But I called them months ago, and I asked them if they were looking for new drivers, and they said, no, sorry, why don't you try calling us back in April? So I did just that. I bided my time and waited until April. I called them asking if they were looking for new drivers, and they said, yeah, sure, why don't you come in and drop off your CV? So I did that, not really expecting to get anywhere, because I was already burnt out and frustrated, because I'd been chucking out my CVs like free candy to basically any company that would be around, but I wasn't expecting to hear back, and I was so dispirited and disillusioned. Oh goodness, I've I've gone the wrong way down a one-way street. Never mind. Anyway, I was so dispirited with my experience looking for work. As I was typing out my CV, I thought, man, screw this. I'm going to have a bit of fun and just write. I'm going to do something a bit different. I'm going to write a CV that no one can forget. So I tinkered it with my CV a little bit. I wrote stuff like, I've been a consumer of Domino's pizza for years now. The first thing I did when my girlfriend broke up with me is I ordered a large Mighty Meaty. Domino's pizza is better than having a girlfriend. It never whines and bitches about you for no reason. It never compares you to its ex-boyfriend. It never starts arguments with you for no reason. And despite what people say, it's much better for your physical and mental health. And less expensive. And I also, when I was talking about my driving experience, I said, I've been driving for 3 years, and so far, nobody has been injured or killed. Yet. Yeah, I wrote that. And I handed it in later that day. Again, you got to understand, at the time I was thinking, well, it doesn't make a difference. I'm not going to hear back from them anyway. So I might as well give them something that they won't forget. And then a few days later, the branch manager, Jack, he sent me a text asking me if I'd be up for a quick telephone interview. And one thing led to another, and next thing, that following weekend, I came to their branch and I was already giving them my personal address and my driving license. I basically already started working there. I just had my first shift. And let me tell you guys, I'm loving this job so far. It's so much easier than... I complained a lot about that delivery job I had when I worked with Royal Mail's delivery branch, but this is way easier because, first of all you're doing is delivering pizzas, and typically you're doing it one order at a time, so it's nothing like with Royal Mail. You've got 500 different packages in the back of the van, and then you've got all these letters and crap and leaflets and stuff. But yeah, no, nothing could be easier. The addressee and their address it's all there, encoded on the app. The app basically spoon feeds you everything you need to know, like where they live, what they ordered. It's all done on GPS. It makes me wonder how difficult it would have been in the days before GPS. Part of me wonders whether I'd have survived back then. But anyhow, And that's just the beginning. Oh, hold on. I had my beans on. Anyway, on top of being incredibly easy and self-explanatory, you get paid a monthly salary based on an hourly wage, which is okay, you know, that's basically to be expected with a lot of jobs, but you also get paid in proportion to how many deliveries you make. I think you get paid £1 per delivery, that's on top of your hourly wage, and you get paid slightly more if it's outside your local area, kind of thing. And that gets paid to you weekly. So it stands to reason that the more deliveries you do, the more money you make. And in addition to all that, in addition to the hourly wage, in addition to the delivery fee you get, you also get tips, bonuses, gratuities. And really, you know, you got to understand, England's very different to places like America, where tipping culture is sort of expected. Like the moment any server who brings you your food to the table, you kind of have to give them minimum 25%. Well, we're a lot different. We couldn't be any more different to that. We believe in tipping based on, you know, how good your service was. And I wasn't expecting to get any on my first day. I ended up getting 3. And I made 5 deliveries. So of all the deliveries that I made, more of them gave me a tip than those that didn't. It's ridiculous. I mean, people are just so generous around here. This feels, it's weird. You know, weeks ago, I made that vlog where I talked about my theory, my observation of the conspiracy or the system, and how it was utilizing its weaponized situational contrivance to throw my life into disarray and disaster as much as possible. Well, it feels like this is a glitch in the Matrix. You know, this job almost feels too good. Somehow, part of me wonders if it's going to go wrong, because I feel suspicious. You know, when I feel as good as I do at my place of work, there's a part of me that has learned to anticipate disaster when things seem like they're going too well. So I guess it'll remain to be seen as to whether I'll hold on to this job for long, or there'll be some trouble that will take place and I'll end up losing my job for some bullshit or whatever. But if not, I may have found a way to crack the system. Anyway, I've only literally just had my first day. I'm due to receive an email that will talk me through the onboarding process. So anyway, I'm not actually a fully fledged employee yet, but I've had a taste of what the job's like. The job is pretty good. I certainly don't mind it. There's way worse things you could be doing, and I would know that for a fact. So this could be the start of me, Benjamin Stevens, tracking the pizza delivery man. How's that? Anyway, I'll update you and regale you with some more stories later in the future. This has been Tracking. You guys take care.